everyone, and welcome. I am Ol'Ed Ed Fries, and I am solo tonight as Parrish is taking some time off, but I'm sure he will be back in no time. We wish him the best in all of this. But because it's just me, I'm going to go ahead and get to the chat. We got our good friend Basser already in the chat. Basser, thank you for showing some love. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you and little Basser had a good time on Saturday night with Bobby at his first live pro wrestling show. Make sure to go ahead and tell me all about that. I know I talked to Bobby about it a little bit, but I want to hear your thoughts on it. We got our other friend, Bobby Bedino. Bobby, thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. You are the YouTube champion. You took that title from me, and congratulations to you, my friend. This week on Ring Respect Radio, as they had their What Do We Know About Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Trivia. You were the winner on the YouTube side. Congratulations, champion. Thank you for joining me. So it's a little bit different tonight. Because of the fact that Parrish isn't here, we can't do our standard two-person Wrestledraft. And I don't want to continue a season without Parrish. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to do a solo season. Hopefully one season in one night. That's the goal tonight. It's going to be about 2 hours, maybe if I, 2.5 hours is my cutoff. So we'll see what we got. We are going to have a hard difficulty and hard AI difficulty, which means that they're going to be making better choices, more proactive and smart choices. We're going to have 2 mid-card matches during regular shows, 3 during premium live events. As the seasons go on, we're going to moderately get our budgets reduced so that it becomes harder and harder as the seasons go on. We're going to have high morale thresholds for people that we keep on our roster. And also, when superstars quit, they'll remember it longer. However, we will also have increased injury risks. I'm starting with the most money I can. It's going to be a straight order. I pick, they pick, I pick, they pick. We are going to have shakeups. Every time there's a premium live event, we will have a shakeup to change the way the seasons work. Unlike in normal Wrestledraft, I am not using our special created pool. I am using the pool as is created by the game, which means superstars will be very expensive or very cheap, depending on how they work. And popularities will not be straight across the board starting out the game. So it's going to be a little bit harder for me. And of course, no auto draft, as we are going to go ahead and start the draft. I want to say hello to a couple of more people in the chat jumping in there. We've got Astrid. Hello, tag partner. Hello to you, my friend. Thank you for joining me tonight. Bobby, you are more than welcome. Every champion deserves to get their roses when they win. So congratulations to you again. And Bobby's just saying hello to Astrid. Thank you all for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to try to keep up with the chat, but the chat is over here while my camera is over here. So it's going to be a little bit of back and forth, so you might not see my whole face the whole time. But let's go ahead and get to the draft. I have the first pick. Oh, Becky Lynch. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to draft her first. Let's see. I think I'm going to start by having a strong women's division. I want Rhea Ripley. Mommy's coming to SmackDown. And yes, as discussed on Taking Over last night, I am taking on Eric Bischoff, who, of course, is controlling WCW. Because, of course, he is. We got Chris Best joining me here tonight. Thank you, Chris Best. Chris, if you wanted to jump in, or Ashton wants to jump in and go ahead and jump in here and be on stream with me and just give me somebody else to talk to, that's more than welcome. You guys know how to find the chat. You guys can obviously come on in here if you want. Well, I got Rhea Ripley. They took the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. Well, Rhea Ripley is indeed a bruiser, so that means I need a fighter. She's a heel, so I need a baby face. I don't think I can put Shinsuke up against her. And there's not a lot of options in this realm for this. So I am going to go straight to the top of the roster, and I'm going to grab Asuka. A little bit expensive, but it will be fine. Oh, got to make sure I keep moving my thing so I don't accidentally cut off the stream. So that's important. I don't normally have to do this one person wise, so it's hard to keep track of everything. All right, they took Shinsuke Nakamura. All right, we are going to go ahead and start getting our men here. And we are going to start with, all right, we got a Jey Uso. Don't have a Jimmy Uso. It doesn't look like. All right, we don't have a Jimmy and a Jay. We do have a Butch. Do we have anybody to go with a Butch? Doesn't look like it. We got Ludwig Kaiser in there. Don't see a Sheamus. All right, so what I like to do with my men's roster a lot of times, I like to look and see if I can find a tag team. So I got Sammy. I don't got a KO, though. So, you know what? In lieu of finding anything else, I'm going to start with Gunther because I know that I have both Giovanni and Ludwig in here. So I can definitely go ahead and do that. They're going to go ahead and take Becky Lynch. I am going to go down towards the bottom, and I'm going to grab myself Giovanni Vinci. Oh, it's always Finn on WCW. And with that, I've got Gunther, so I need a cruiserweight. What better cruiserweight than going ahead and taking main event Jey Uso? We got Bobby coming in and saying, what matches are I looking forward to on NXT No Mercy? I am honestly looking forward to most of that card. That card looks fantastic. I mean, he's local. I love him to death. Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov is going to be a show stealer on any card, on any brand, in any show. So, obviously, Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov is my number one match. I am, however, really looking forward to seeing Trick Williams versus Dominic Mysterio. I want to see how that plays out. I wish they wouldn't have done Dragon Lee as the special guest referee, but it is what it is, and we'll have to deal with that. All right, so we got... Oh, but Jey Uso's a heel. All right, I can turn him face. I can make Jey Uso a face. So, let's go ahead and grab... You know what? Let's grab Randy Orton. And he's here, so let's grab Matt Riddle. We can always do RK Bro as a tag team. We can do Big E and go for Kingston. All right, so we've done some stuff on the men's side. We want to go back to the women's side. And look at this. Just perfect. Io Sky. Ooh, they're grabbing Montez Ford. We're going to go ahead and grab a Bailey. All right, we got another chat coming in from Bobby. Bobby is saying, I'm looking forward to Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton for the NXT Women's Championship in the Noam Dar match. I like the Noam Dar match. I think Noam Dar versus Butch is going to be a fantastic time. The British Rounds matches are hit or miss for me. Sometimes I really enjoy them, sometimes I don't. So, you know, that is what that is. I'm really interested in Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton. I think Tiffany needs to get a little bit more violent. I think this is going to be a great opportunity for her to do so. So we're going to go ahead and see what she can do there. We need a babyface tag team to go up against... You know what? I'm going to have to do a lot of turning promos here, but I'm going to grab Gigi Dolan, and JC Jane is sitting there too. I'm going to go ahead and grab Toxic Attraction. I know they're no longer a tag team. They used to be a tag team. I'm going to put them back together. Oh, Katana Chance and Caden Carter are there as well. All right, so he's pretty much tapped out of money, so he's pretty much done. Asuka, Gunther. Hold on. Asuka, Gunther, Rhea, Big E, Bailey, Io, Riddle, Kofi. All right. We're going to now deploy some lesser-known tricks. Akira Tozawa is often known as the special weapon in GM mode. He somehow has a tendency to get really good matches out of nowhere. So we're going to go ahead and grab him. We're still low on money. We're going to grab Trick Williams. WCW is going to finalize. And we are going to go ahead and grab, because I think he's still here, my man Carmelo Hayes. And I'm at 260,000, so I am going to stop for now. All right, and there's my roster roll portion of it. We've got Chris Best hopping in saying, I really think Trick versus Dom will be the sleeper hit of the night. I think Noam Dar and Butch will showcase some of that old school European style of wrestling, and I'm looking forward to the Fatal 4-Way. Yeah, this card has a fantastic stacked card with all kinds of great matches on it. Like I said, there's only one match I don't want to see it. It's Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin. And it's only because badass Braun Breaker, Bab, is in that match that I really don't want to see it. Otherwise, this card is stacked, and I'm very excited for the show. Remember that on Friday night, me and Ashley are going to have our friend Caden on, and we're going to be talking all about what we think is going to happen, who we think is going to win, who we think is going to lose, all that kind of stuff. And then right after the show's over, come on back, and we're going to go ahead and review it all with Mark Talks Wrestling. It's going to be great. All right, so their rosters: Roman Reigns, Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, Finn Balor, Bianca Belair, Shinsuke Nakamura, Seth Rollins, Robert Roode, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, Braun Strowman, Sami Zayn, Valhalla, and Tiffany Stratton. Meanwhile, I have Asuka, Big E, Gunther, Rhea Ripley, Randy Orton, Bayley, Io Sky, Jey Uso, Matt Riddle, Kofi Kingston, Giovanni Vinci, Akira Tozawa, Carmelo Hayes, Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, and Trick Williams. Not going to be easy, but I am excited to see what happens. By the way, I couldn't help but notice how small Braun looks fighting. Yeah, Braun looks really big until you put him up against a 6'7" big ass dude like Baron Corbin, and all of a sudden he becomes a lot more realistically normal. Triple H checking in on me, asking how I feel. I can't wait to get started. We're gonna storm this. All right. Eric Bischoff wants to talk some trash. Talk some trash with Eric Bischoff. That's great. We're gonna pick our champions. We're gonna go ahead and give the title to Gunther. That's an obvious one. We're going to go ahead and give the title to Asuka, because I like that idea too. Triple H wants me to come out storming with a Hell in a Cell match. That might happen. We shall see. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go see the free agents. Oh, it always sucks after releases happen when you come in here and look at the free agents and you see people like Ezekiel who are no longer here. Bobby Petito says, I don't care for the match between Braun Breaker and Baron. I agree. I'm not really looking forward to it, but I love me some Baron Corbin, so I'll watch. We got Queen Bee. Queen Bee is not bad. How much is she? 15K for 10 weeks? Yeah. I think I'll do that. That's never a bad idea. I like getting some enhancement talent early in the season to go ahead and be able to do stuff. I want the fixed match. I always want the fixed match. We're going to go ahead and birth some legends here. Giovanni Vinci, Randy Orton, Rhea Ripley, Big E, Asuka, and Jey Uso are all getting the +6. Fantastic use. I do that, for those that don't know, one of the reasons why I play SmackDown is because of that card. I love that card. It gives 6 different random superstars +6 popularity. You never know where it's going to go, but it can help you set up what you do for the beginning, because you've got that little bit of extra popularity to push you forward just a little bit in the early going, which is why I like to do it right off the bat. All right, past 300,000 in the bank, that's doable. Gain 225 popularity between the entire roster, doable. Perfect drama curves, that's going to be a little bit more difficult. Fulfill 5 promises, that should be easy enough. Steel cage matches, 100K or more on promos for the entire season. Okay. We are definitely make 3 superstars very happy and book 8 shows with a self promo. All right. So we got some oddball ones out there, some of them that I haven't seen before. So that is definitely fun. We want to do a couple things. First, we want to do a call out. We want Gunther to call out Jay. Why? Because we want to go ahead and turn Jay babyface. We also want to have, because of that, we want to have a self promo We're going to wait to see who does that self-promo until we get some matches. We are going to main event with our ladies. And because Triple H has asked for it, Triple H will get it. We are going to do a Hell in a Cell match. Go ahead and get that power card early. Do a big match early in the season. Try to get a little bit of a buzz. We are going to go ahead and get our men's tag team championships working, I think, with Randy Orton and Matt Riddle taking on... I didn't get Ludwig Kaiser. Interesting. All right, we are not going to do the tag team titles. We are going to do Giovanni Vinci versus Big E for the Intercontinental Championship. We are going to have one more role change promo. We change Gigi Dolan. You know what? We're going to clear that out. We're going to leave that till next week. And we are going to role change both of Toxic Attraction. This way we can have both of them, these matches, on the show next week. We can start and end with these two championship matches on the beginning and the end of the show. So I'm very excited about that. It does, however, mean we have to scramble a bit for matches this week. But that's fine. Because we've got some money, so we're going to have to go and sign a few people. No ladies there, and no baby faces, which is a problem. Am I going to have to burn the Legend Whisperers card right away? It looks like I might. I might need to go get either Bree or Beth. Manage roster. Yeah. I am going to have to burn my Legend Whisperer card right off the bat. Unfortunate. That card I do like to save till I'm in a pinch. But I don't want this to go on too long, so I definitely want to get this going. So, Bayley versus Beth, and we will do Riddle versus Akira Tozawa. No. Trick Williams. All right. We got a bunch of singles matches this week. No, you know what? No, we're not. We are going to do our tag team match. And we're just going to make a makeshift tag team. And hope that it doesn't matter. There we go. All right. We've got this going. We've got Bobby saying Tatum Paxley is doing a tag team match with Izzy Dame on NXT's Level Up this week. And she's against Kalani Jordan and Valentina Feroz. Yeah, Valentina Feroz is going to be in a weird place right now after her tag team partner got let go by the company during logistics. Is there anything I can book? I cannot book any logistics this week. Okay. I didn't miss anything. Yeah, she's kind of in a tough spot with her tag team partner being let go. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens with Valentina Feroz. I did think she was going to end up getting released as well. But she didn't. So that's always a good thing. I don't want anybody to lose their job, but it does mean that NXT is going to have to reset and recycle and get ready. So we got our first match here. We got our opening match of the show between Big E and Giovanni Vinci. Should be great. I'm excited for it. And Big E gets the win. 3 stars. All right, cool. Rivalry grows. All right. We got the role change working there. The promos this week are going to be simple. 3 quick role changes just to get things going. It's a bit of a pricey first show with the $35,000 Hell in the Cell and $30,000 on promos, but it needs to happen. It needs to happen to go ahead and get this thing going. We got another role change there where we're changing Jey Uso, Trick Williams, and Akira Tozawa in a 3-star match. A bit surprising that was that high. I'm guessing the tag team chemistry between Randy Orton and Riddle is going to help with that. In our main event, inside the Hell in the Cell, Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Asuka retains. 4 stars, amazing match, and you get a level 1 rivalry. So, boom. First show, not bad. We got Bobby coming in and saying maybe put Valentina Feroz in the women's breakout tournament or put her with Lola Vice. Yeah, you could put her with Lola Vice, but again, like people constantly say about the Hurt Business, you don't necessarily need to put a bunch of people of same ilk always in the same factions. While I like the idea of having an all ladies Latina faction, well, I like the idea of having an all African American Hurt Business. I love those ideas. They're not necessary. You know, one of the great things about the Nation of Domination's run was there was a period of time where Owen Hart was in the Nation of Domination, and it didn't fit, but it worked. So it's not necessarily a terrible thing to go ahead and do that. But yeah, no, those are two very good options. I know Lola Vice is in the women's breakout tournament. Valentina could very well make her appearance in there too. That's a great idea, Bobby. All right, we got first show. We got 2 feuds. Not the greatest, but we got 2 feuds going. We had a good curve, 3, 1.5, 3, 4. No injuries, so that's good. New tag team champions here. Women's title retains, and Big E won the vacated Intercontinental Championship here on SmackDown. So everything looks good. Akira Tozawa and Trick Williams are an incredible. Look at that. Didn't even realize it. But secret weapon Akira Tozawa coming in clutch already, being an incredible tag team with Trick Williams. Boom. Tag team chemistry. That's going to be good. I lost money this week by losing $445. Not the greatest deal in the world, but it's only a couple $100, and I had a pretty busy show for a small arena, so not too unexpected. But I did get 44,000 fans, which should be pretty big for the first week. I don't think they should be 41,000. Not as much of a gap as I was hoping for in week 1, especially with throwing out a Hell in the Cell match. But it is what it is. Here we go. Free advertising booking for completing my commissioner goal. I've still got more money. I have more fans. Week 1's in the books. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know in the comments what's going on with you guys. If you have any questions, if you want to talk about anything. And again, tell me how my weeks are going. Tell me if there's something that you guys want to see. Maybe I can get it booked on the show either this week or another week. But Triple H talking to me about how Asuka's stamina is now below 40, and that's the danger zone for becoming injured, so I got to keep an eye on it, which is fine. Not a big deal. Our least popular available specialist. Whomst is that? That would be Gigi. Well, that's perfect. I expect to have Gigi Dolan in a match tonight. Do I have any other members of Imperium? I do not. I do want to pick up another babyface on the men's side, but they're all expensive, so they're going to have to wait. I am, however, going to pick up Natalya. Am I? I'm going to wait on Natalya, I think. All right. Nothing great here. We do want to go ahead and buy the concert hall to get into the bigger arena, especially early. Who else would I put in the breakout tournament? Here's the thing. I don't know. I don't watch enough Level Up to know a lot of the names of some of the young ladies that would be necessarily in this tournament. We've heard Danny Palmer is going to be in this tournament. We've heard that Lola Vice is going to be in this tournament. I would put in not Electra Lopez. I would put in Kalani Jordan. I would, if they were ready, the Calavari twins, if they're ready to get into the ring. I don't know if they are or not, but I wouldn't mind seeing one of the two of them in there. Again, if she's intended for NXT, I think Jade Cargill makes a whole bunch of sense in that tournament. As much as I don't want her in NXT, I think that if she's going to be there, that is the perfect place for her, where she goes in there and she wins it. That's what I would do with her, but, time will tell. We shall see are the things that we need to know about that. So, first things first, let's get this women's tag team title match off the ground. We're going to go ahead and, as we main evented with the women last week, we're going to main event with the men this week, where we've got Gunther going up against main event Jey Uso. This will be fine as far as styles are. Carmen Patoric. Yeah, I've heard of her. I know she's been doing some work on Level Up. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Jakara Jackson in the women's breakout tournament. She hasn't wrestled a whole bunch on NXT. I don't think we're going to see Lash Legend in it, but I wouldn't mind seeing Jakara Jackson, because I think she's got some future in there. I think she'll be all right. Based on stamina, we can definitely run Giovanni Vinci and Big E again. Put that title on the line. And stamina is good for these guys, so we're going to go ahead and run another tag team match between Riddle. So RK Bro versus the secret weapon, Akira Tozawa, and his tag team partner, Trick Williams. Nice basic show. We need steel cage matches, correct? Yes, we do. All right, we are going to open the show with a ladies steel cage match. Again, we're spending a little bit of money, but that's okay. We are going to have a self promo from Beth Phoenix. We are going call out program from Beth Phoenix. Whom is she going to call out? She can call out. She is a bruiser. No, I don't want her to call out Bailey because of the tag team thing. Let's get rid of that for now. No, let's do a self promo for now. We've got 9 more weeks. We've got time. We've got 2 pay-per-view cycles. Brooklyn Barlow would have been had she not been released. So, unfortunately, we will not be seeing Brooklyn Barlow in this tournament. But, there are plenty of other talented women in this division. There are plenty of talented women in WWE, especially in NXT. So, I have a feeling that this tournament is going to be just fine. We do need to start doing some call-outs. Both of these ladies are hurting, but we're going to use Rhea Ripley to call out Asuka to keep that moving. And we're going to do a charity promo with Kofi Kingston to get me a little bit more fans. We've got that going well. Nothing here I need. This is what it is. Nothing I can really do about that. I think we're all set on this show, so we're going to go ahead and move along. And we're going to simulate. So we got in a steel cage tag team championship, women's tag team championship match, Io Sky and Bayley taking on Toxic Attraction. We made the swaps to make this match work a little bit better, and boom, the babyface Toxic Attraction team, 3.5 stars, and it starts rivalry. Only 1 level, not the greatest. Bobby says, how about the Rock's daughter? Ava Raine could very well be in this breakout tournament. I would not be surprised. The only thing I would say about that is Ava Raine is likely not in this tournament if Jade Cargill is in this tournament. Because if they're going to have Ava Raine in there, she is most likely going to be the bigger star, and she's going to be the bigger lady in there. And Jade Cargill is, if nothing else, a very, very tall woman with a lot of power. So I don't think they're going to want to have the both of them in there, because it means one of them will have to lose at some point. But it's a potential. Everything is possible at some point or another. We got Giovanni Vinci, 3.5 stars. I believe that matches the tag team match. That's fine. Very good. Call out works. We go up to level 2 there. We got a tag team title match for the men here again. Riddle and Orton win 3 stars, and it moves from 0 all the way up to 2. This is the great thing about tag team matches that they fixed in 2K23, is that they have the ability to jump 2 levels, because tag team matches often have an issue where they don't move rivalries along. So they have an ability to do 2 levels at once to help with that. Kofi gets me another 4,000 fans. Thank you very much, Kofi. In our main event match. Main event Jey Uso. 3-star match. New rivalry. New champion. Absolutely fantastic. Good to see. Chris Best jumping in and saying, I really think Jade Cargill's first WWE match will be in the Royal Rumble. That's entirely possible. The only reason why I say that I would put her into the breakout tournament is in the event that you are trying to do have her in NXT. If you're going to have her on the main roster, you should absolutely be saving her for the Royal Rumble. However, I would definitely have her popping up in places here, there, and everywhere beforehand. 50,000 fans this week. Very, very nice. Like that. Making $8,000. We're moving the money back up in the right direction this week. So very good. When do I think Nikita Lyons returns to NXT? The sooner, the better. For my heart, Nikita Lyons. Oh, I cannot wait for her to return. I have missed her every day that she's been gone. I am very excited to see the return of the lovely Nikita Lyons. So hopefully, sooner rather than later. She's been training. She's been getting ready. She's missing the ring. I don't think it's going to be long. And I think that her first feud back will be absolutely Blair Davenport. And that's why I had said before Becky came down that I thought Blair Davenport versus Nikita Lyons would have been Blair's first title defense. And I think Nikita should have returned on the night that Blair won the title, not at No Mercy, but at the next Premium Live event. That's how I would have done it. But again, I'm not WWE. But I am here. So let's see if we can make some magic happen here. So I got 50,000 fans on my end. Bischoff keeping pace. 47,000 here. And like in Wrestledraft, he knows how to make the money. He got $29,000. He has something special with making the money. Eric Bischoff always found a way to make some dinero in WCW. So that could be problematic for me, but we'll see how we do. Actually, we're running about the same gross revenue, so he must be running cheaper shows. But contract negotiation, too, is a very big card to have, especially early. It means if I can get somebody that I really need and that's working well and, might have a championship title, wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea. We move on. Week 3 is we're 2 weeks away from Hell in the Cell. Triple H telling me about the 2-person tag team matches that move up 2 levels. And we have a guest. It is not the Chris Parrish, but we do have a guest. Go ahead and bring yourself in.
I heard an SOS, so I figured I'll be Parrish for the night.
I didn't put out an SOS, but I gladly accept all the help that I can get. I didn't even
have to help you, partner.
Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate it. If nothing else, it gives me somebody to talk to when the chat's a little quiet, and it gives somebody else a chance to talk so that I can catch my breath, get a drink of water, fun stuff like that. What have you thought of the first couple weeks here from me so far?
I mean, I catch glimpses here because I was doing the dishes while you were playing this too.
Let's go to my roster so Asher can see who I've got working for me.
Yeah.
So I've got main event Jey Uso and Oscar are my champions currently. We got tag team champion Randy Orton as a tag team champion with Riddle. No longer with the company, but he's with me. He's not with the company, but he's with me. We got Big E. We got Giovanni Vinci. We got Mommy Rhea Ripley here. We got Bayley. We brought in with my Legend Whisperer special card. We brought in Beth Phoenix. We reunited Toxic Attraction, and we turned them babyface to go up against Damage Control. We've got Gunther. We've got Kofi Kingston. We got the secret weapon Akira Tozawa, who shockingly has incredible tag team chemistry with his tag team partner, Trick Williams.
I didn't have that on my bingo card for this year.
I did not either, but you know what? That's why they call Akira Tozawa the secret weapon in GM mode.
Yeah, that's true.
We got Carmelo Hayes, and we brought in Queen Bee. I am accidentally clicking things on the other side of my thing. We got Bobby saying, is Wendy Chu injured? She hasn't been on NXT. She was taken out by Blair Davenport to cover up some injuries that she was dealing with. She will hopefully be back in the near future, but she's much worse off than Nikita was when she went out. So it'll be time will tell. So you look at the free agents. I am still looking for. Oh, Nikita Lyons is there, but here's who I needed. I needed Ludwig Kaiser. This is going to be the future tag team feud, so I needed to go ahead and pick him up. So I'm going to spend some money there. Nikita is a bit too expensive right now. She has a permanent contract at $179,000. So she's going to have to sit in the free agent pool a little bit longer.
Poor thing.
I know. So all right, power cards. Ooh, we have my favorite, Superstar Training. And I'm instantly going to go ahead and do this to make Queen Bee a full-time superstar. I like to do this at least once, if not twice a year, because these go ahead and make them permanent members of my roster, so I don't have to worry about re-signing them. But more importantly, sometimes it boosts their stats. That's always a nice thing to do. So, High School Gym, we are now going to the CWC. Nothing else to buy this week. We are a little low on money, so we are going to turn to an advertising promo for main event Jey Uso, our world champion. But just so he doesn't get, think he's not being used on the show, we're going to definitely go ahead and have him called out by the ring general. And to go ahead and continue pushing our self-promo agenda that we have in our seasonal goals, we are going to have Rhea Ripley cut a promo on herself, talking up herself because she's pretty damn good. We are going to main event with the Intercontinental Championship since these guys have been having bangers. However, we're going to put them inside of a steel cage because, again, seasonal objectives. We want to get these going. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Tag team match for the women's tag team titles, but we're going to put it second, I think. I don't think we're going to open with it because, you know what? No, we don't have any other feuds going. That's fine. We can go ahead and open with the ladies tag teams. Put the titles back in line. We are going to have Ludwig Kaiser take on Carmelo Hayes because that's a match I really kind of want to see. I think that one would be good. Ludwig Kaiser, Marcel Bartel. I think he'd be really good against Carmelo Hayes. And because why not, we are going to go ahead and run a tag team match again. They're going to have to take the week off next week in lieu of the pay-per-view because their stamina's starting to get down. We're not going to put the titles on the line because we don't want it to overshadow this. And I don't want to risk it. So we're going to put the title on the line here in a big match. Leave the titles off here. And I think that's going to be it. Pre-match physio. Yeah, I'll afford the pre-match physio. I will also grab my Health Spa 3. I'm going to have no money, but building up a bank of power cards isn't necessarily a bad thing. So we're going to go ahead and definitely take care of that. Ash, what do you think of this card? Do you have any matches that are your favorites here?
I think definitely the girls was my dream scenario from the get-go was for Toxic Attraction to be called up to the main roster, even without Mandy. I wouldn't mind it with or without her, to be honest. And then just having them go through Damage Control and go against other tag teams. And I really was hoping that because I feel like there was such a time that there was a lot of women's tag teams. And then all of a sudden just poof, a lot of them just broke up and disappeared. So it's I just wanted to see them mixed up with the main roster. I feel like that would have been good for them.
Yeah, I agree. I think it would have been a great match. Do you think I have it right? Do you think it would have been Toxic Attraction as the baby faces going up against the heel Damage Control, or do you think it would have been flip-flopped?
I could go either way with them. I really wanted them to be more baby faces. I would have liked to see what that was like for them because we didn't get them together as baby faces. So that's something I would have liked to see.
Yeah, we got a disappointing match between Carmelo and Ludwig. No feud, but that's fine. We're just kind of throwing things at the wall right now. We got an excellent promo from Gunther because, of course, the Ring General has an excellent promo. Bobby saying, I like this card. Yeah, it's not a bad card. This is definitely a show I'd watch. I think I'd definitely go ahead and give a look-see. Here we go. 2.5 stars with Akira Tozawa and Trick Williams. The Secret Weapons getting the big win over RK Bro. Rhea Ripley increasing their popularity. And then Big E versus Giovanni Vinci. Here we go. Big E wins. He is the new Intercontinental Champion. 4.5-star classic. Moves the rivalry with the bonus from the steel cage match from a 2 to a 4. What's great about this is these guys gets to take next week off. Maybe one of them cuts a charity promo or an advertising promo to earn me some money. Fantastic. I love it. On the other side, look at some of these matches here. We got Seth Rollins versus Nakamura. That's something we're seeing on TV right now. Bianca Belair versus Valhalla. Eric Bischoff's cooking there. Triple threat match. Main event for the WCW Women's Championship between Becky Lynch, Tiffany Stratton, and Ronda Rousey. And in a tag team championship match, we got the Street Profits taking on Sami Zayn and Robert Roode.
Man, Kyoto would have been even nicer just to give it a little you know, they needed a little.
It would have been even better to bring back the Dirty Dogs. They've also got Finn Balor on this show. They've got Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns in a feud with Braun Strowman, the abominable Braun Strowman. So always fun. So yeah, we got 3, 1.5, 2.5, 4.5. So we win the Stars battle this week because the only match where we were behind, we're only behind by 1/2 a star. In the match that we were ahead, we went ahead by 1.5. So we definitely got the better of that. Again, the feuds are a little few and far between, but hopefully that won't make us hurt the bank too bad. Shockingly, Hacksaw Outlaw is telling us that Matt Riddle and Randy Orton are an incredible tag team. I never would have known.
Too soon.
Never would have known. But we gained 45,000 fans. We gained $55,000, making some money. Early on, it's all about just kind of maintaining that budget just a little bit and growing our fans. For the first week, I think we lose in the fan department. I'm just going to go back. Yeah, we lost by 3,000 fans for the first time. So Eric Bischoff narrowing it back down to about 4,000 fans, but that's fine. He's got a big budget. We got a little budget, but we spent some money. We went and got Ludwig Kaiser this week. That was a big investment. So we're doing what we can. Big E wants to be on the Premium Live event. Don't you worry, Big E. You're getting the week off to make sure that you're on that Premium Live event. You don't got to worry. Matt Riddle is telling me he's a master on the mic. I might have to put him in a promo. You know what? You want a promo? You got a promo, bud. All right. Most popular male, babyface, and heel. That would be, oh, great. Oh, great. It'd be Giovanni Vinci versus Big E. Which I can't do because if I do that, it means that I'm going to sour their rivalry before the pay-per-view. So the question is, we're doing it. We're souring the rivalry before the pay-per-view because the reward is that special promotion, which is a fantastic power card that you can't pass up. So Matt Riddle's going to go ahead and do some advertising because he wants to cut a promo. And that's where he is. We are going to open the show because we know it's going to be a little less than stellar. Ooh, and they're hurting. You know what? We're not going to do it. We're going to pass, as much as it hurts, we're going to pass up the special promotion. We're going to pass up the special promotion to not do that. We're going to open with Gunther versus Jay. We're going to close. Yeah, their stamina's back up just enough. We can run this women's championship match again. 2-2, that's fine. We need to run the women's tag team title match again. Hopefully it gets one more so we can blow it off the pay-per-view this time around. If not, we'll have to work on something else. That will go there. And since Carmelo versus Ludwig Kaiser didn't work, we are going to put on a triple threat match between Kaiser, Kofi, and Carmelo. It's a fun match. I think that'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be great seeing Kofi Kingston and Carmelo Hayes in the same ring.
That'd be nice.
It would be. I think it'd be fun. Call out promo. Nobody. Beth Phoenix is going to go ahead and call out Queen Bee because why not? And then charity promo. Apparently it's going to be Randy Orton because Akira Tozawa's a one on the microphone, so he's not doing it. These guys are hurting and they need to have a break because even with the break, they're not really going to be ready for the pay-per-view. So it's going to have to be Randy because Trick's only a 2, so at least Randy's a 3. All right. So both members of RK Bro are cutting a promo this week, which is fun. We're going to go ahead and book the big Capital Wrestling Center. Next week, we're going to go ahead and get access to the next road crew, which is the backstage crew. The rest of these will open up as the season goes on. Ooh, some big power cards here. Can I afford to get any of them? Not really. And it's early, but I'm going to blow this health spa on Big E to get him to 38 so that both of these guys are out of the range come next week for the pay-per-view. Yeah. We'll get that power card. We'll spend some money. And we're going to go ahead and screw with their Big Show and just veto somebody. We don't know who it is. Could be anybody. Veto somebody on there. And there we go. 2 women's matches. So again, better than most wrestling promotions. I got 2 women's matches. Also, backloading my show with women's matches, both in the semi-main and the main event. Both championship matches. So treating the women like they matter, giving them the respect that they deserve. Here we go. Jey Uso versus Gunther. By the way, banger match that I would love to see. Main event Jey Uso versus Gunther. There we go. Rivalry grows to 3. Jey Uso retains 4 stars. That Riddle gets me a bunch of money for for popularity. Not bad. Can we start a rivalry? Well, Carmelo wins. 1.5 stars. No rivalry.
True.
It is what it is. We got an excellent promo between Beth Phoenix and Queen Bee, going ahead and getting me 1 level of that rivalry. That's something I'm going to definitely push towards the next pay-per-view. We got Bobby jumping in saying, I'd like to see Gunther versus Jey Uso too. Who wouldn't? That sounds like a fantastic match. And you know what? WWE could make that happen in the next few months. Especially if Jey Uso stays at the top of the card and Gunther goes ahead and drops that Intercontinental Championship. Jey Uso would be a perfect person for Gunther to dethrone at the top of the card to show that he means business. So I'm very excited to see if that happens. Here we go. Toxic Attraction versus Damage Control one more time. Toxic Attraction gets another win. 3 stars. No rivalry, unfortunately, but that means that we will not be blowing it off at this pay-per-view. We'll do it at the pay-per-view, but it will not be finished there. Which means that we're going to be running some singles matches next week, next season between the 4 of them. So ready to do it. Gets me a little bit of fans. In our main event, Asuka versus Rhea. Rhea now dethrones Asuka. 3.5 stars. Do I have Bray Wyatt? I do not have him on the roster currently. I do have him unlocked in the game. So there is a potential that I will have Bray Wyatt at some point. I do not currently have him, though. Thank you, Avery, for jumping in. Greatly appreciate it. First time I've seen you on our chats, but again, we have a great many shows here. So I'm sure you've popped into one of our fantastic shows. Again, our curve is good. 4 stars, 1.5, 3, 3. We're hitting all those curves. Unfortunately, 2 rivalries again. We got this one going, but that's fine. Look in the match report. The tag chemistry is for some reason down, and I don't get it. Maybe it's because I need Dakota Kai. Maybe Io and Bailey just don't have the tag chemistry. Lord knows Toxic Attraction should, considering they were a tag team when the game came out. So, by the way, I'd love to see how bad of this match in reality, where this match gets 2 stars based on performance. To put in perspective, 3 stars performance between main event Jey Uso and Gunther, and 2 stars between Rhea Ripley and Asuka. So the game's not exactly the greatest thing in the world, but it does what it does. 51,000, almost 52,000 fans, and $87,000. We keep the shows cheap. We make the money. Good to know. Good to know. So, did we win the week? Barely. We barely won the week. We're going to continue leading. But Eric Bischoff, $84,000. Somehow, some way, that man continues to make money hand over fist.
Isn't it controversy creates cash? Is that what he has on you?
That's what his book said, so he's got to be doing something controversial on that show. But you know what? He may have the cash, but I've got the fans. And then, unfortunately, at the end of the day, from this game, for Mr. Bischoff, that's all that matters. Oh, he's not happy. What's that stunt I just pulled? You like that? You got to get dirty if you want to win. Kofi Kingston and Big E are talking, and they think they'd make an awesome tag team.
I wonder why.
You know, I never thought about it, but maybe Kofi Kingston and Big E would work. I mean, it's a possibility. Roman versus Jay versus Brock in Hell in the Cell. I've got Jay, but unfortunately Roman and Brock are on the other. Well, I know Roman is. I don't know where Brock is. I don't think anybody drafted Brock. We're going to go ahead and take a chance on these two as a tag team in the near future. I got 3 weeks to go ahead and do that. Matt Riddle's happy that I went ahead and gave him a promo. All right, so Trips wants me to do a last man standing match tonight, so we're probably going to do that. We've got 2 things to open. We got the Hell in the Cell arena that we need to do, and we need to open this, which means we're running low on money because unfortunately those are both relatively expensive to use and unlock. So oh, we're full of Astrid's favorites in here this week. We got Julius Creed, we got Tyler Bate,
yes,
and we got Axiom, all sitting here on the unemployment line.
How dare you?
So unfortunately, that's some stuff. How about this one? We've got Sensational Starla.
I cannot with this name generator.
Mr. Higglesby. Now, this is funny because in this one, he looks like he's a war-torn veteran or something, and out of like a mutant world or something. In the first game, this man was a janitor. In 2K22, he was a janitor. I want to know the story about what happened to him between games. We got Flint McStones.
Oh my god.
And we got Pretty Ruthless. Jackson Smooth. I wonder what that could be a reference to.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the mime is named Silence. I'm shocked that he has a promo skill of 1. All right, so based on my budget, I can't really pick anybody up because I gotta cut some promos. I gotta do some stuff. I may have to get a couple of people. LA might. Yeah, that one might be a new one in the next game. Who knows? Definitely put that one in on the 2K server on Discord. I know they're taking some feedback as they program a bunch of stuff for my for 2K24, which will be announced probably at the Royal Rumble like it was last year. We got the official announcement and everything heading towards it at the Royal Rumble. So Astrid might be able to give us some news about that and go to the event. All right, we're going to open the show. Intercontinental title. starting off the show, headlining our show, last woman standing between no. Women were going to main event until I saw how hurt Rhea Ripley is.
Yeah.
We're going to main event with Jey Uso versus Gunther, and that's going to be a last man standing. We are going to put Asuka and Ripley here. Hopefully Rhea Ripley doesn't get hurt. To make sure she doesn't get hurt, we're going to put a pre-match physio on Rhea Ripley. So that will decrease the chance of her getting an injury. No, not that. All right, here we go. Men's tag team match. They're at a level 2. Men's other tags at a level 2. All right, doesn't much matter. Men's tag. Titles on the line. Women's tag team title match. Titles on the line.
Okay, do you have Dakota though or no?
I don't have Dakota Kai yet. That will be a future pickup when I see her to try to make Io Sky a bit better. Unfortunately, that's not the case right now. We're going to do a self promo for Beth Phoenix. We're going to do a call out promo from Queen Bee. We're going to do an advertising promo from Kofi Kingston and a charity promo from Carmelo Hayes. So we're still under budget for our show, which is good. We're close. That's not so good. But we've hit both of our optional goals, which is nice. And we're in the bigger arena and the branded bonus. We got a little bit of money left, so we are going to start seeing if there's any matches that we can throw some specialties on. These gentlemen, branded bonus is Hell in the Cell. That is not a surprise, but I don't have the money for that. So a tables match. And for the ladies, Extreme Rules. LA Knight versus Matt Riddle will be a good match. It will. It will indeed. Unfortunately, I do not currently have Matt Riddle on my roster. I'm going to change this charity promo to another advertising promo to go ahead and get the necessary funds to be able to make that Extreme Rules match. And I think that's going to go ahead and fill out this card, as we are an hour in and I'm only at the first premium live event. So we're only going to be doing 2 premium live events this week because I don't really want to go much longer than 2 hours. And it's taking a bit longer than I had anticipated. But that's fine. We'll be back next week with Solo Wrestledraft Season 1, Part 2. Big E completes the rivalry, wins it in a 4.5-star match. I do not yet have Zelina Vega. Asher would be killing me if I had Zelina Vega on my roster and was not using her. Asher would not still be in this room with me if that was the case. Phoenix does get her popularity up 1. All right. How are the women going to do here? Rhea wins.
Again?
No injury, 4-star match. There we go. The curve is still good. We're still doing well. Beth Phoenix and Queen Bee go up to level 2. Tag team title match for the men. Can't be over 4. And it's not 3. And it moves to level 4. So now these guys can go into singles matches from here until the next premium live event when I can blow off this tag feud. Ooh, Kofi loses 8 popularity for 10 money. Not the greatest promo. Thanks, Kofi. And of course, the ladies' tag team titles, Io Sky and Bayley winning again. Still no movement on the rivalry, but it is a 4-star match. Carmelo Hayes, proven to be a bit better than Kofi Kingston. Gets me 8,000 for 4 popularity, so that's not bad. And in our last man standing match that Triple H wanted me to have, we have Jey Uso versus Gunther, last man standing for the WWE Championship. And Gunther retains. Gunther is the champ. 4.5 stars. Great curve. Did exactly what I needed it to do. He has 2 unbooked promo slots because he's not using that big wallet of his to the best of his ability. Shame on you, Mr. Bischoff. Shame on you. Although there's some good matches in there. Sami Zayn is the world champion, taking on Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman. In main event, Tiffany versus Becky Lynch. So, 4-star match there between those two ladies. Again, I have the better show. The curve is a little bit better on my side. Complete rivalries for the first two. My tag team feuds, one's up to a 4, one's still at a 2. And I completed this singles rivalry. So, not a bad show here for me. Did he have any injuries? Did not. That's unfortunate. Hoping for an injury.
In the game, to be specific, people.
I mean, you know, if Becky were to get injured this Saturday, it'd give her more time to promote that silly new book she's got coming out. What is it called? I Am Rebecca Quinn or something silly like that?
No.
152,000 fans for me, $45,000.
And it's called Becky Lynch the Man, Not Your Average Girl by Rebecca Quinn.
Yeah, because I'm sure she was sitting there backstage at shows writing out her book. I'm sure that she didn't tell stories to somebody who wrote it out for her.
Should have been Rebecca Quinn, hyphenated Lopez. Come on, Rebecca.
These non-traditional women here who want to go ahead and just have it their way. She thinks that Rebecca Quinn is a bigger name than she could have been. Rebecca Lopez, not even Quinn. She just could be Rebecca Lopez. How much of the world do you think really knows her as Rebecca Quinn? If she switched to Rebecca Lopez, nobody would bat an eye, would they? I mean, even Alexa has it hyphenated.
Yeah. Alexa Cabrera now.
All right, so we have a Rising Stars book. So we got a Veto Champ card from that seasonal goal, so that's nice. And there we go. We're on top by about $15,000 coming out of the first pay-per-view. Not bad. It is a start. Ooh, double cost. Bastard Eric Bischoff. All specialty matches are going to cost twice. You have payback. Fair enough, but I hope you means that means war. Matt Riddle wants to do more for the brand. What is it that you want to do? You want to be in the main event? Sure, Matt. I can make that happen. Ooh. So, if I use at least one fighter superstar in a match, I increase its quality. Not bad. If I self-promos, double the popularity increase for the superstar if they have less than 40 stamina. So that means if I burn out my superstars a little bit more when they're close to getting hurt, if I just put them in self-promos, they'll double the popularity bonus they were going to get. But they have to be under 40. And it's a little early for something like that. Hold on. I'm trying to get my AC on here. So I want a little bit of AC, but I don't want a lot of AC. But I think I'm going to go with the Moneymaker. Select a superstar. Gain $10,000 whenever you book them in a match. This is going to help me achieve that money goal, and it's going to help me continue to go ahead and push myself forward. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the Moneymaker. And I'm going to grab somebody very nice. I'm excited to hear that you're going to be in, if Fastlane is in Pittsburgh? I don't know. Where is Fastlane? Tell us the location of the Fastlane pay-per-view. But congratulations, WWE shows are fantastic to go to live. I myself just attended Battleground in Lowell, Massachusetts for the NXT brand. I had a wonderful time. It was a great thing. I brought my friend who'd never been to a live wrestling event, and I've been getting bombarded with messages about going to another one. I think I'm going to the Boston House Show right after Christmas. Because Cody Rhodes is going to be there, apparently. I am actually going to go ahead and book somebody who I think is going to be on the cards most weeks right now, and that's Beth Phoenix because she's got a high stamina. Indianapolis, Indiana, says our friend Chris Best for the location of Fastlane, which does sound about right. All right, so I have to rest my singles champions this week if I can. Well, that's going to be an easy task because most of my singles champions are hurting. Gunther's not, which sucks because
I didn't notice.
Chris Parrish does look a bit different this week.
Just a bit?
Just a bit. Again, like I said earlier, Chris Parrish is taking a few weeks off from on-the-air stuff. He's getting prepared to do all kinds of stuff. You know, he's got a lot going on, as we all know if you've seen any of Chris's streams. So, Parrish, take all the time you need. Your seat will be back. Until then, solo Wrestledraft for a little while to get into. We got Chris Best saying, I could have gone to Fastlane. It's not far from me. Chris, I think you're pulling my leg. If I remember correctly, you live out by Carl, and that's up in Canada land, which is not close to Indianapolis.
I was about to say, do I have my geography wrong?
No, you do not. And Avery, Cody's fantastic. I adore Cody. I've never seen Cody live, and this version of Cody seems too much to miss. We live on a border city. Aha. Sure, Mr. Best. I wholeheartedly believe that. All right, so we're not going to rest my world champion. We are going to put him in a match. We're going to put him in a match with Carmelo Hayes. That is going to be our opening match because, unfortunately, Matt Riddle wants to be in our main event. So Matt Riddle is going to take on Akira Tozawa. 51 popularity, 56.
Oh, Avery, I have seen Cody live. I kept thinking, when did I have seen Cody? But I saw him in Ring of Honor. I think it was versus Kenny. Yeah.
Yeah, because it would have been not WrestleMania, but it's WrestleMania weekend.
Supercard.
Supercard of Honor, yeah.
Yeah. I ditched NXT for Ring of Honor for one night. It opened my eyes to Damian Priest.
I mean, having seen Damian Priest's last match in Ring of Honor, the night where he lost the Ring of Honor television title to Jeff Cobb, it was before he left. Punishment Martinez, I mean. I had never seen Damian Priest. I have seen Punishment Martinez, though.
Yeah, I have seen Punishment Martinez.
God, you love those names, don't you? Those names will get you. Singles match.
Oh, Chris Best. It's an 8.5 drive south for me. Jeez.
That's a long. That's definitely not nearby.
8 hours for me is me going to Charlotte like I need to see my family. That's why we're flying.
Yeah. Ashton is doing our preview show on the road.
Yeah, no days off.
I mean, you could have had days off.
I know, but once you have a guest, it feels weird to be like, I'm out, I'm ditching you after you brought them in. So,
all right, we're doing some singles matches just to kind of get things going this week because people are hurting.
8.5, I make it in 7.
that I don't disagree with. I've heard about how Parrish drives, and I think that's definitely a doable thing for him. We're going to be cutting some promos this week. Randy Orton's going to cut a charity promo. We're going to get an advertising promo from Io Sky and a self promo from Bailey. There we go.
And Avery saying Cody and Jay are the closest to win against Roman so far.
I mean, Seth Rollins didn't lose. Seth Rollins won. He didn't win the title, but he did win.
Oh, Chris Best is up a las Costa Ricas to my city.
Chris, isn't Toronto closer than Indianapolis? Just saying.
And I'm kidding with geography, so I will not make any comments on this.
All right. So again,
no.
we're pushing really.
I like that. Really?
It's about this. Chris, me and you are going to have a chat one night about geography and where exactly you live. Because if it, I know roughly where Carl lives, and I have a feeling Toronto's not that far away. You might be closer to me than I think you are, and maybe that's why it's this way. I did find out me to Indianapolis, Indiana is about 16 hours. We won't talk about how I know that. We won't talk about how I know that. Nothing we really need to do here. I don't have money to get anything. Thankfully, would have been nice to be able to grab him, but I'll have to wait till the next time he's here. Andre Chase. I've yet to play with him in my GM mode, but a promo skill of 3, which I think is pretty good. I think it's right on target. You're an Andre Chase fan. What do you think? 3's pretty on target.
What's the most? Is it 5?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
To put in perspective, though, they think Andre Chase and Braun Breaker are on the same level when it comes to promos.
Oh, hell no. Hell to the no. Pictures, I know why.
Wendy Chu's at a 2. Dolph Ziggler's at a 4. That makes sense.
Bobby. I like Andre Chase. Yes.
Yeah,
Andre
Chase is great. I do love Andre Chase.
I like the back and forth between him and JC and Thea and Zoe on Twitter right now.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's absolutely. We got Donna Matrix.
I wonder what that is.
We got Heath Manhattan. Heath Manhattan's a cool guy. Honestly, Heath Manhattan reminds me of Deuce and Domino.
Yeah.
It's got that same kind of look. Alexa's a 5 out of... Yeah, I guess she would be a 5 out of 5 on promo, wouldn't she? Bobby Lashley, 2 out of 5.
Eek.
Yeah, not so great. All right. We're done booking. Let's get to the next.
Also, OVW Moxley vibe.
Yeah, it does have a bit of a Moxley vibe.
Oh, here, I missed this one. Seth, Cody, LA Knight, and Jey Uso are probably the most loved.
Yeah, they're definitely up on the high end of the babyface scale right now. It's definitely good. I do definitely agree. Yeah, Houston Dominoes. Yeah, they did definitely. Cherry doing her entrance on roller skates, and I think people don't value the effectiveness that was Cherry in that group. Yeah. It is sad though that Deuce and Domino was made up of one of the Samoans, because it was Sim Snuka, who's loosely tied. I mean, he's obviously Jimmy Snuka's children, but they're loosely tied to that Anawahi kind of family tree off to the side. Yeah. No, they're not criminally. Deuce and Domino are not criminally underrated. They were pretty awful. I mean, one of them almost cost Undertaker his career. For those that don't know, the cameraman that was supposed to catch Undertaker when he did his cow dive to the outside at WrestleMania 25 was Domino. He was supposed to catch Taker and didn't. All right, so Matt Riddle asked for this main event match. And look at this. Him and Secret Weapon Akira Tozawa, 3.5 stars. Keeps my perfect shows going. We got some feuds in here. We get Alcatraz. Oh, hold on. I have to simulate a couple of these because we have to see Alcatraz. There he is. Look at him. Alcatraz. Oh, was it Deuce? I do apologize. I thought it was Domino.
Oh, I feel fired up to hit an RKO.
Cliff Compton was Domino. Okay, thank you, Parrish. See, Parrish is the one who keeps me honest in some of these streams. Because I know these things. I know who they were. I just didn't remember which one was which.
Oh, Chris Best. I mean, they're attacking like you say. They beat the Usos before they were famous.
This is true. That is something that they can say. 40,000 fans, $7,000 for me. Not a bad show. Ooh, 53,000 fans. Uh-oh. That lead I had is quickly dwindling here. They're amazing. Hey, people.
Yay!
Chris Parrish, I keep you honest. I drink. This is true. You know what? You drink and know things. And for those of you that have watched Game of Thrones, that will make sense. For those of you that haven't, it means nothing.
I have, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I know their fighting styles don't work. I'm just hoping I can get through the thing. Oh, JC Jane, my friends and family have been waiting to see me in Tampa.
This is the real Wrestledraft.
I do not and will not condone that kind of talk, Dr. This is solo Wrestledraft. It is vastly different from real Wrestledraft.
My thinking is crafty.
All right, well, Randy Orton wants to face Giovanni Vinci, so we're going to go ahead and give him that opportunity. Oh, I told Kofi that he could tag with Big E, and it has to be done this week. So guess who's challenging for the tag team titles this week?
Dun, dun. It's a new day. Yes, it is.
No, they're not. They're not challenging for the tag team titles. They're just having a tag team.
You're killing me here.
I can't do babyface versus babyface. My tag team champions are babyfaces.
See, Eddie is wrestling against Rocket Mirror for the NJPW Strong Openweight Championship on AEW Rampage this Friday. Ooh,
that is a match that is being booked as a favor to Defy Wrestling, because that match was supposed to happen at Defy Wrestling last weekend before Eddie pulled out of all of his independent dates to make sure that he is no longer getting himself hurt on the independents now that he is the Ring of Honor World Champion.
I don't mind his two Puerto Ricans going against each other. Next. Kofi and Big E, that could be a good tag team. Wink. I wonder why.
You know what? Kofi did come to me and say that he thinks him and Big E are going to be a good tag team. I'm not certain about it, but I'm going to give him a shot. I'm also not going to put them in the opener. All right. Let's do the women's tag team match here. Bunch of tag team matches tonight. This one. Because the ladies JC Jane wants to wrestle tonight in front of her family. So even though she's hurting, she's going to be wrestling.
Xavier Woods could be a good trio, just a thought.
You know, that's not a bad idea. I could do that. When I see Dom, I say, hold on, there's someone at the door, RKO than Randy. You know, Sister Abigail, I saw a story that apparently BWE put out there that WWE is contemplating to continue to use Uncle Howdy going forward. And I'm like, I don't think they are.
I don't know. It just feels awkward because and we know it has to be Bo Dallas, then there's nobody else that could do it. I get it as a tribute, but it feels awkward at the same time.
Yeah, it feels really, really awkward.
Yeah, but plus his creativity, so it's like, I don't know. Nah, that's odd.
I did somehow forget that I picked up Ludwig Kaiser to go with Giovanni Vinci, so I don't have to put Gunther in that match, and I can have another match.
Oh, I also dared WWE to put Bray Wyatt on the cover of W2K24.
I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't. I don't think they're going to do it. I really don't. Because the one thing WWE tries not to do is they try not to make money off of people suffering. Like, Bray Wyatt unfortunately passes away, and the first thing they do is all Bray Wyatt related merchandise instantly becomes no profit to us. We're going to get our money back on making the product, and all proceeds go to the family,
Yeah, family.
which is a great way to exactly proceeds. But you can't do that with 2K23, 24. That's the
Yeah.
problem because WWE doesn't run that like they run their shop.
Yeah.
That's run by an outside company. I do too. I really think Uncle Howdy should be a retired gimmick. The only way I think that works, if they do that, is you have to wait till Alexa comes back. If she wants to come back after her pregnancy, I wouldn't mind having maybe a one-off where these two come out there and they do something special. But I wouldn't do it very long, and I wouldn't do it for more than one night.
Mm-hmm. Ew, I didn't know about this one. Hikaru Shida against Ruby Soho, an American contender for Saria's AEW Women's World Championship, and will wrestle against her on October 10th at AEW Dynamite.
Well, that's very nice. Speaking of Bray Wyatt, here he is. And you know what? Because of what we had our friend Avery Root asking earlier, we're going to go ahead and sign Bray Wyatt.
Yay. So this
Yes.
comes
Yes, they did. And that was a bad time in this company. And they have seemed to have learned since Owen and Brian to not do those things. They've smartened up a bit. So I mean, they did a lot of bad things during that time in the business that we would like to for everything that everybody talks about the Attitude Era being the greatest time in WWE history. There was some really nasty shit that was done.
I mean, the only thing is like times has changed, so
they have times have changed, and so have the people running the company. Thank God.
In the future, I would like to see Alexa and Alcohol in a one-off mixed tag match.
Yeah, that I wouldn't mind that. Like I said, that wouldn't be bad. I wouldn't be opposed to something like that. For those that have watched real Wrestledraft, here I am, the Red Flame. For those who want Jade Cargill, she's already in the game. Daniela Wallace. We've got my favorite name in the entire game, Medical Bill.
Oh my god.
And of course, we got Tim Burr.
Oh my god.
Boo you, Parrish. Boo you. Boo this man. Boo. It's all good, Parrish. Love you to death. All right, let's see. I got this show mostly booked. What am I going to do here? I'm going to do advertising promo with Bray Wyatt. I'm going to do a call out promo between. So, what is Bray Wyatt? Bray Wyatt is a bruiser. Akira Tozawa is going to call out Bray Wyatt.
Goodbye, Tozawa.
And self promo main event Jey Uso.
I hope you can hear the train in the background.
I cannot hear any trains in the background.
Okay. As an order from I must pull of the flames. It's in my loins. Is that how you say that?
Yeah, it's cojones is the word you're looking for.
Yeah, I would have said that. I mean, just spitballing here. What if they were going to bring Uncle Howdy as a new member of Schism?
I don't hate that. If they want to continue with it, that is a way to do it. Again, I'd prefer that they just bring Bo Dallas as a member of the Schism. And he talks about how using Bray's death as a storyline crutch to be like, I'm at my lowest point. I need family because I've lost my family. I could see that being a way to put him in the Schism, but I would do it as Bo Dallas.
Timbers actually Impact stars. Technically Josh Alexander from 1980 show.
Yes, when they do their throwback shows, his name is Tim.
They're doing one pretty soon. Yeah, I got the email about it too. I think is it IPWF, something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
Something crazy like that.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. JC Jane wanted to be on a show in front of her Impact Provincial Wrestling Federation, the IPWF. Good job, Astrid. Well, JC wanted to be on the show. She got on the show. She hurt herself. She's out 2 weeks.
Yes.
Maybe. I wouldn't hate it. It's been long enough since Brian Pillman's been gone that I think you can very easily tap into that Brian Pillman stuff for Pillman Jr. Because again, Brian Pillman, the difference between Brian Pillman Jr. and David Benoit is that one of those men died on their own, and one of those men committed a horrible atrocity before he died. And you get to honor one of them, especially this long after his father's been gone, whereas Chris Benoit will never be mentioned by this company ever again. For good reason.
I still want to see Nadia align herself with Brian Pillman.
I wouldn't hate that. I think that'd be fun. I'd be all in favor of Natty aligning herself with Brian Pillman Jr. I think that'd be fun. I think it'd be even more fun if you brought out Tyson Kidd. If Tyson Kidd was his manager. Obviously, he can't take bumps, but I don't see why he couldn't be at ringside with somebody. I think that'd be fun. Thank you all again for joining me. I know this isn't the expected show that we were all expecting, but again, thank you for joining me. It is greatly appreciated. Ashley, do you want to go ahead and talk about the things that we have coming up this week with our shows?
Hold on. Oh, we got the chat going here. Best bring back Harry Smith, and you got the Heart Foundation like stable.
Yeah, you could do that. I don't see why not.
And then Parrish signed Harry Smith again in the Billington Bulldogs.
Yeah, so the Billington Bulldogs are Dynamite Kids. One of Dynamite Kids' kids is in the Billington Bulldogs.
Is a kid?
Well, because Dynamite Kid's name was, I believe, William Billington. Parrish, correct me if I'm wrong. I know he is a famous Canadian, but I believe it is William Billington. Yeah. Not the greatest show for me here, but again, good enough curve. Tom Billington.
There you go.
Anyway, I knew it was a generic name. Tom.
That sounds like one of those from the name generator that we have here.
We got matches for Rampage: The Acclaimed, Billy Gunn versus the Hardys. That could be fun. We got
and Isaiah Cassidy.
Okay, so they're not losing. Great, cool.
For the AEW World Trios titles.
So, counting Ring of Honor, because AEW does count Ring of Honor on their shows, how many championships does that company have?
Let's see.
World.
Yeah.
TNT. Tag Team. Trios. Do they count the FTW title as a sanctioned title?
It basically goes the same way as
So 4.
Here we go. Too many. Well,
I know
the name was with another raid.
Thank you, Get the Tables. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for rating my channel. It is so nice to have you guys. Again, if any of you are looking for watch-alongs for any shows, whether it be Dynamite, whether it be Rampage, whether it be SmackDown, any of these great shows, make sure you check out our friends at Get the Tables. Just Lou joining us, Babe just joining us, all kinds of fantastic friends from Get the Tables. Thank you for joining me as I play through a solo campaign of Wrestledraft right now, as our current Wrestledraft campaign is on hiatus for a few weeks. Hopefully only a few weeks. We got Eric Bischoff here making some money, but I got a double cost card to fight his double cost cards. Yeah, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad idea. Red Rum coming back. We got a To the Moon. To the Moon!
Is he injured? Where has he been? I feel like
Aaron Grimes is on creative hiatus as they have no idea what to do with him after debuting him against Baron Corbin and then doing nothing with him. Jeff and Red Rum might have chemistry. For those that don't know, Red Rum is a former thing of Matt Hardy's, as Jeff Hardy used to be Willow. Giovanni Vinci's not happy with me. He's had enough crap. And he wants $100,000.
I'll be right back.
All right, you go away. I'll be right here. I've told Giovanni he can't have $100,000. He says he's leaving. Well, I've got my $300,000 now. No, we're not going to make the alcohol-related jokes. That is not necessary. Yeah, Biggie, you and Biggie definitely did hit it off. That is not an unknown fact, Mr. Kofi Kingston. Although Randy's going to be unhappy with me because I promised him a match with Giovanni Vinci, and Vinci just left. So I don't know how I'm going to manage that one. That's going to be a problem. All right, we got Cameron Grimes has been doing dark matches on SmackDown. Well, that's good to know. Did not know that he was doing dark matches. Again, just playing through GM mode here for the viewers who are joining me from Get the Tables Watch Along. Again, thank you for joining me. Greatly appreciate it. If you want to go ahead and hit the follow button, I do gaming streams on my own personal Twitch. And if you want to go ahead to our local establishment and go ahead and give them a follow, we cover all kinds of wrestling-related things. We have NXT recap show that I'm part of called Taking Over. We have Busting Out, which is our weekly wrestling recap show. We have a Raw watch-along that you can go ahead and watch along to on our YouTube page if you want to catch it after the fact. After you watch Get the Tables, if you want to watch it again to see what our friends think of it, or you can watch them simultaneously. I know one of your fantastic moderators, Megan Sidden, does, where she watches multiple watch-alongs all at once. We also have a show called Paramindful, which deals with all the spooky ooky. And of course, we've got Allie Rose in here joining me. Thank you, Princess. It is great to see you again. All right. Well, let's see. What are we going to do here? We've got... All right. JC Jane's out 2 weeks.
Ouch.
All right. Bray Wyatt is going to take on Akira Tozawa again. We are going to book Hayes versus Gunther again. Rhea Ripley versus... We need a... Bailey. There we go.
Poor Bailey.
Bailey. When in doubt, need to break glass. Just have her wrestle Bailey. Big E.
Oh yeah, Chris Best. I'm watching this past week's watch along where Carl's voice was just destroyed.
Poor Carl. Yeah, Carl is not at the tip top of health right now. I know he was feeling a bit under the weather going into this week, so that's unfortunate. All right, who are we going to put these guys up against as a tag team? Because, all right, we're going to do a singles match.
You should have gotten Drew to do Mac Riddle.
What's that?
You should have gotten Drew so you could do Mac Riddle.
Yeah, but Drew is not here.
Yeah.
Do I have a female fighter that I can pick? I don't. We got Matt Adore.
That reminds me of the Colognes have that as the Matadors too.
Oh, but the clones were fantastic as the Matadors. For anybody who missed it, the Shining Stars, the Matadors, Los Matadores, with El Torito. If you haven't seen it, you need to go check out WeLC. You need to check out WeLC. It is one of the greatest TLC matches that has ever existed. I guarantee you will enjoy it. It is the epitome of WWE actually taking midget wrestling seriously in WWE. It's about as good as it can. Ol'Ed.
I think it's just a funny part seeing two Puerto Ricans actually be Spanish. Like,
I mean, WWE's done worse. Roddy Piper had blackface on.
Yeah. I went to old school and thought of Tito Santana as Chris
Yeah,
Best.
Chris Best definitely went old school on that one and thought about Tito Santana. El Matador. Do I have a female fighter? I do not. That's unfortunate. All right. We're going to do this the way we were. We're just going to do Big E in a triple threat match with Kingston. There we go.
And how could you?
What?
Oh my God, Parrish, I'm not doing that.
All right.
Too soon.
Call out promo. We want Io Sky calling out Gigi Dolan. We want an advertising promo from main event Jey Uso. And a charity promo from Matt Riddle. Because Matt Riddle, as we were told by Matt Riddle, is a master on the mic.
Sure.
All right, we've got a triple threat match involving 2/3 of the New Day. Hey, you know what? They don't have to fight each other. They can both just fight Ludwig Kaiser. They don't have to fight each other if they can make an agreement. Kofi Kingston is the new Intercontinental Champion. Look at that. Just fantastic. We got a feud going on there. We got Bray Wyatt and Akira Tozawa wrestling again. Hopefully this one starts a feud.
What?
And Akira Tozawa gets the win over Bray Wyatt. You wrote off Bray Wyatt there. 12,000 from
Wow.
Women's Championship match right here. Bayley versus Rhea Ripley.
What?
Yeah, I'd love to see what world this is a 1.5 star match.
Right. What? This kind of just shocking all around.
Or that's not shocking that Carmelo Hayes would be able to take down Gunther.
No, I'm not saying he's not capable of doing it. It's just if I see that match, I don't expect him to win. Based on the booking from the WWE, not because of his abilities, to be specific.
So, we talked about how my card was crazy. In the main event, we have Silence the what do you call him? The Mime taking on Shinsuke Nakamura in the main event. We also have cutting a charity promo, Hulk Hogan. And we have
Hogan and charity, that never goes on the same sentence.
And we have Tiffany Stratton teaming with Valhalla to take on Brie Bella, Brie Mode, and Becky Lynch.
Valhalla and Tiffany. That's never a team I had on my bingo card either. Ever.
All right, so we had a good show. I wasn't thrilled, but you know, it is what it is. 51,000 fans, $94,000. There we go. So we're over that 300,000 mark, so we will get that seasonal goal completed as well. But again, Eric Bischoff just gaining more money than us. And granted, he's behind us in money, but you know, he's getting 51,000 a show, so that's not bad. But he got 56,000 fans, so he is going to be slightly ahead of us going into this next week. Oh no, I am still ahead by about 7,000. Yay! I'm ahead. Woo! Go me!
Yeah, keep it that way.
I'm trying. Just answering.
Brie and Becky, aka the yes man or woman. Women. And dream match El Gran Gordo versus Matador.
I am El Gran Gordo. I apparently gave Asuka $100,000 that I wasn't expecting to because I wasn't paying attention to the buttons I was pressing. But it's okay. I don't want Asuka to leave, so I'll give her $100,000. It's fine.
Oh, is that how it works? I want some too.
Talk to the powers that be at our local establishment, and they'll keep you here for $100,000. Talk to Bobby; he'll cut you the check.
Sure. Mm.
I'll deal with her later. All right. Again, Randy's going to be mad at me because I can't give him this match because Giovanni Vinci up and quit.
What?
Yeah, Giovanni Vinci quit on me already. He's like, I had enough here at SmackDown. It sucks, and I'm leaving. But Nikita's back for $35,000, so we're picking her up this time.
I was wondering how long it took you to get her.
Oh, this is the first time she's back since the beginning, so. Alrighty. Logistics. Alright, logistics are done.
Chris Best showing my age here again, but if you're in Cincinnati for this show, now I got the theme song for WKRP stuck in my head.
Such a great show from the 80s. It's greatly appreciated. Yeah, no, it's a fun show. Alrighty, let's see. What are we gonna do here? Something good. Intercontinental title to open the show. World title to close the show. They're spooky and they're kooky. They're all together ooky. Dun, 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 the Addams Family.
Oh, sure.
Ray Phoenix is wrestling Nick Jackson for the A. Wait, is Ray Phoenix the international champion?
Yep.
When did that
happen? 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago at this point.
I thought
Yeah,
Mox
he
was
went.
the international champion.
Oh no. Yep,
Didn't Mox beat Cassidy at the pay-per-view?
No, yeah, first Moxie won it from Cassidy, and he had it for like a week or two, and then he went against
Then he
Phoenix.
lost in the match where Mox fell on his head a couple times, and Rick Knox decided it was a good idea to say that he kicked out when he didn't.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I remember that match now. That match does ring a head.
As good as my wins, I never thought turkeys could fly. Ray Phoenix won it by accident. That sounds funny. I'm sorry.
I mean, it definitely is what happened. Yeah, I do remember
that. And this is how you entertain yourself at work, Parrish.
I mean, it's not the worst way to entertain yourself at work.
No, it's just funny though.
I mean, he could have been drinking the beer at work. You know what I mean?
I can't help with that.
You can help him drink beer at work?
Yeah, if he goes to my job.
You're going to provide him said beer?
I mean, there's a lot to choose from.
There is indeed a lot to choose from.
I'm just saying. Yeah, when my the bosses go, I want to drink, and I go, pick left or right. Where do you want to go? I can help you. Like me, on the other hand, I cannot.
Sorry, I was focused and I hadn't been saying anything, unfortunately.
Ew. You're kidding your girl right away?
What's that?
You're putting her against Rhea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see the result of that one.
That looks good. Yeah. Done that. Power cards. I need one of those. Do I want to fix it to just make sure that my girl wins the match?
No, I want to see the real result. No helping.
For the friend of mine who is messaging me as opposed to typing in the chat, yes, there are women's championship matches, and I don't have one of them on the show this week, but I will have one on the show at the pay-per-view next week. But we've got Ludwig Kaiser versus Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston retains his Intercontinental Championship in a 3.5-star match. All right. Gigi Dolan versus Io Sky moves to level 2 rivalry. Beth Phoenix versus Quinn B. Beth Phoenix gets the win, 3 stars. Rivalry complete because it was a submission match. We finally get a rivalry going between Bray Wyatt and Akira Tozawa. Nikita gets the win! Yes.
No, damn.
You know, the only reason why the match was disappointing is because Bayley ran in real quickly and distracted Rhea, and that's how the match ended.
Sure, that's what you want to tell yourself.
Sorry, I'm answering a text. I do apologize.
Yeah,
We got Big E making me big money here. $16,000 at the cost of 8 popularity, but it would be good for content. We'll see what happens in the near future. Now Rhea can call Nikita mommy. I wouldn't mind calling Nikita mommy. I'll be honest. I'd like to see. I wouldn't mind Stevie Turner in the women's breakout. Do you think? No, he asked me a bunch of these questions earlier while you were doing dishes. Whom do you think should be in the breakout tournament? We already know Lola Vice is going to be in there. We already know that Danny Palmer is going to be in there. We've heard rumors that there's also going to be Kalani Jordan in this tournament as well. Who else do you think might fill out this card in this tournament? You're muted.
Another one that he mentioned earlier. Hold on. I'm trying to remember her name. I know he mentioned it earlier. Where is she? Carmen. That's who I was thinking. If she's ready, I feel like that
Carmen.
could be one. Yeah, that was one that I was thinking of.
If Our Amazing's comment, if Jade Cargill is going to NXT, I wholeheartedly not only expect her to be in the tournament, I expect her to win the tournament.
Yep.
Parrish is correct, though. If she's going to be on the main roster, she needs to debut at the Rumble.
Yep. But yeah, I was thinking Kalani's a good one, too. I feel like that would be good for her to have it.
I've completed 5 seasonal challenges in my 9 weeks, so I have gotten my first trophy.
Let's see who else. Maybe one of the Cavalier, however you spell it, twins.
Yeah,
I get Twin Magic.
I was gonna say I do not know how to spell the Calavari twins either, but I do think if either one of them is ready, I would absolutely put them in this tournament. I'd have them lose in the first round, but I would. Hallie J did not end up at the tryout as you expected. She was pulled from the tryout at the last minute. So no, I do not expect her to be in the breakout tournament.
No thanks. I will keep her where she is.
Which is
OVW.
Oh, is that where she's at?
Yeah. Yeah, she was part of the promos for the wrestlers.
Oh yes, OVW. For some reason I heard LPW and I'm like, no, she doesn't wrestle for Spencer.
Does she though? I wouldn't know, get it. I don't think of who else at this point that we.
I wouldn't mind seeing some reality of wrestling stars in this breakout tournament, considering there's a thing. And I'll go with my favorite. Izzy Dame is a potential, yeah. She's been on Level Up a couple times. I'm going to go with my favorite of the reality of wrestling women. Give me Gigi Ray. The new reality of wrestling women's champion. Congratulations to her.
Yeah.
I would have her in the breakout tournament. Because you have the partnership with Booker T. You're sending your own talent to his reality of wrestling shows. She's a traveled superstar who can go out there and lose a match. Like, let's be honest, she's not winning the match. But she can go out there and go put over a Kalani Jordan, or she can put over a Lola Vice. I see no reason. I don't know who Promise Braxton is. Do you know who Promise Braxton is?
Yeah, she's the one that Gigi defeated for the championship.
Okay. I knew the last name was Braxton. I did not know the first name was Promise. That's why I was confused.
Yeah. Trying to think of who else though. Because I feel like Lola, you said she's confirmed already too?
Yeah, Lola has confirmed on her own that she's in the breakout tournament.
Yeah. got those there. Yeah, but I was thinking of Izzy, and then Carmen will be the other one. Yeah, as Bobby's saying, she is a Booker T student.
Yeah, absolutely.
Parrish, Ava Ray makes sense, to be honest.
Ava Rain only
That
makes
one.
sense if Jade Cargill's not in the tournament. If Jade Cargill's in the tournament, you keep Ava Rain as far away from it as physically possible, because you do not want her to have to lose to Jade, because they fill the same kind of space where it's big, tall, powerful wrestlers. And the last thing you want is one of them losing. And obviously, if they do, it's going to be Ava. And at this point, if she's not winning that tournament, she's not in it. That's my own personal thing. That if Ava's not winning this, or if Ava isn't winning this to somebody like a returning Nikita Lyons, or
Say why I don't think Ava needs to be protected, to be honest.
I would protect Ava for the sole fact is they're not ready for her to be in the ring wrestling much as it is. In her mixed tag matches, she's not in there as much as it is. Ariana Grace, absolutely have that woman in this tournament. Here I am trying to book my Survivor Series card. I'm also trying to book the women's breakout tournament.
You gotta pick one.
Gotta pick one.
Either your game or the tournament. I'm trying to think of the girls at this point that
I'm very surprised that I'm only going to get through 10 weeks in 2 hours. I really thought I'd get through more than that.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's not Parrish that slowed me down. I thought it was. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Right. Women's tag team titles on the line.
Ava Rain's development should be more of a priority than her win-loss record.
I don't hate that idea, Parrish. I don't hate that idea. But I also don't think that you need to. No. God, no. All right. Women's world champion. Who is my women's world champion?
I thought it was Rhea.
No, Bailey. Bailey
yeah.
at some point took the title off Rhea. Whoops.
Maybe Amari. No, I think Amari was saying that she was just getting in the ring now, so I don't think she'll be ready for it. She's like, it's baby steps. So I think that one might be a bit before she gets involved. Great Booker here when thinking to himself, where's my women's champion?
Well, I saw Rhea there, and I'm like, where is the women's championship? Because it was supposed to be on her.
That had to be Parrish, of course.
I mean, of course it's Parrish. Now, I got one person for our good friend, but I'm not spending $135,000 on the other. So unfortunately, he's going to continue to sit there.
Anyway, since you're here, and now I'm almost done, I'm gonna head out so I can finish packing and I can eat my dinner.
So before you leave, go ahead and pull up your banner and let all the people know where they can find you on the social medias.
I forgot where I could find it. There we go. So it's X and Blue Sky, Astrid Pizarro, Instagram and Threads, Astrid Pizarro 20, and everything else is on my YouTube channel, Astrid Pizarro.
There you go. Thank you for joining me. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see you on Friday night.
Friday it is.
As long as you get to the hotel in time.
I got you.
All right. Talk to you later. All right, we are going to do Nikita versus Rhea again, because unfortunately, that's really all I'm left with. Yeah, that's fine. All right, and yeah, I don't necessarily hate Bray on the cover, Parrish, but I think going with Bray this year is going to be difficult because it seems like you're utilizing his death to sell video games. And I know that's not what they're trying to do, but at the same time, it becomes a slippery slope. And those slippery slopes can always be problematic. So I think they're going to take the easy way out this year and just go ahead and do something safe and have something else. Again, I wouldn't mind a showcase mode with Bray either, but the biggest part of a showcase mode is that you have the person there talking about these matches. And if you do the showcase mode with Bray, you're going to have all of his opponents talking about the matches. And Asher joining us again in the chat. Thank you, Asher, for jumping back in the chat. Greatly appreciate it. We're here finishing up our Survivor Series matches. I think I am all set. We're going to go ahead and book this show. And then we're going to end the show. So here we go. Women's tag team match. Gigi Dolan and JC Jane retain the titles. And now Bayley is out. My women's champion, Bayley, who I absolutely knew was my women's champion, is out 5 weeks. That's unfortunate. Big E pulls me 4,000 fans. That's always nice. Men's tag team title match. Here we go. We got RK Bro retaining the tag team titles in a 4-star match, completing their rivalry, and now I can move them on to something else. Jey Uso gives me $10,000 for one fan. That's exactly what I want to see. Intercontinental title match, Kofi Kingston versus Ludwig Kaiser. 4 stars. There we go. Bray Wyatt gets me 3,500 fans on a charity promo. This isn't going to be the greatest match, but Nikita Lyons versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea gets the win back. 2.5 stars. That's fine. Beth Phoenix, 1,500 fans. Not the greatest. And in our main event, Carmelo's hurting. Gunther's hurting. This could be a problem. Oh boy. Well, we're going to run it anyways because it's already there and we got no choice. Carmelo Hayes wins. Rivalry complete. Hayes is out 4 weeks. Not great, but 4.5 stars. That is great. Well, when we get back to this next week, Ed's going to be doing a lot of scrambling. All right, we're going to go ahead and simulate the first 2 because I accidentally hit this. Becky and Brie get the win. 4.5 stars for that garbage? Really? All right, well, whatever you say, game. You know what? I had a pretty good show. 4, 4, 4, 2.5, 4.5. Not bad. But Bayley's out 5 weeks. Carmelo Hayes is out 4 weeks. Not the greatest, but it is what it is. 156,000 fans, $23,000. A lot of that money next week is going to be spent getting talent. Definitely getting talent will be the first thing to do with that money next week. However, Eric Bischoff, for the first time in this show, has lost money. $40,000 in the hole on this show, bringing him down to $300,000. There we go. That's what I needed. Another Veto Champ card for having all my steel cage matches. And here we are. We end the show with me. 1,000 fans, less than 1,000 fans, or a little over 1,000 fans, over Eric Bischoff. Fantastically tight so far going into the end of the first 2 Premium Live events. We're going to go ahead and do my emails. We're going to pick my my shake-up, and then we're going to go ahead and end the show. Matt's been handing me nothing but losses. Absolutely. I can put you up against Bray Wyatt at Kira Tozawa. Ed's fries are curled up so much he's looking to peel back his roots as he works with the broken spuds. Yeah, it's a bit one. Ed is like Gallus. Always on top. Thank you, Dar Amazing. Very true. Oh, Tiffany Stratton. Look at this. I need somebody for my women's division. Tiffany Stratton comes talking to me and says she's sick of working for Eric Bischoff and she's going to come here at a discount. $88,000? Absolutely. You're on the roster. Tiffany Stratton is now SmackDown bound. I got Tiffany Stratton. I got Nikita Lyons. Ed's a happy man. But what do we got here? All promos cost 75% less. That's probably a guarantee. But you know what? Too good to be forgotten, because I've got two people on the injured list, both of them world champions. Superstars don't lose popularity while they're injured. As much as I'd like to have 75% off on my promos, I need to be able to keep that pop. You know what? I don't. 75% off for 10 weeks of promos is a guarantee there. But that's what we're going to call it tonight. Thank you all for joining me. Just want to remind you that you can find me. Let me see right here. You can find me on Twitter, on the X at edfries12584. You can find me right here on the Twitch at edfries2002. You can find me this Friday night. I am going to be on my big weekend excursion, as I've got the No Mercy pre-show with Ashton Pizarro and our guest Caden, as we talk all things No Mercy and NXT. That's coming up this Saturday. After the NXT program, go ahead and join me again, as me and Ashton will be back at it again with another fantastic guest as Mark Talks Wrestling joins us. I finished a graphic today. It is fantastic. Go ahead and make sure you join us for that show as we go ahead and talk all of the things that happened at No Mercy now that we know what they are. And then, one more time, join me again as I go ahead and join the Brunch Buster, Bobby Munson, as we go ahead and we go off the rails in honor of our friend Chris Parrish, and we go ahead and bust out on Sunday, 12:15 Eastern Standard Time for that show. I will go ahead and tweet out all of the shows on my Twitter, so definitely go ahead and check out the Twitter and to find out when we go live for all of the shows this weekend. All right, let's see whom we can raid. Is there anybody online that we can raid? We got paper, we got eggs. Do you guys want to go ahead and see people cook, or do you want to see people play Baldur's Gate 3? Let me know in the chat real quick for anybody who is on my personal Twitch of where you would like to go. It's both Twitter and X. Parrish wants to go to Wrestling Brand. I do not follow them on mine, so I am going to raid our local establishment. Oh, no. We have a friend who wants to go ahead and see cooking. So we are going to go ahead and raid Ivy Doom, if she's still online. Ivy Doom Kitty, as she is making salsa tonight. So have some fun. Go enjoy some cooking streams, and we'll be with you next week. Have a great night, and I'll see you Friday. Goodbye.